This is the sixth video on strategic alignment model. In this video, I discuss the three types of alignment that CIOs are in charge of: strategic alignment, IT alignment, and operational alignment. Previously on this lecture, you learned about the four components of a strategic alignment model, also called SAM: business strategy, IT strategy, business operation, and IT operation. You learn that business is operated through designing and enforcing organizational charts and business processes. You also learn the difference between information system and information technology, various types of business applications, IT processes, IT infrastructures, and so on and so forth. You also learn that a business strategy is a long-term plan of actions for organizations. You got familiar with differentiation and cost leadership strategies, as well as three types of firms: defenders, prospectors, and analyzers. You also learned that an ITIS strategy includes an application portfolio and project maps. You also learned about three types of IS strategy: IS for efficiency, IS for cost efficiency in a way, IS for market flexibility, and IS for comprehensiveness. That means we develop business applications that would either enhance cost efficiency or market flexibility, response time to the market, or having a comprehensive understanding of customers, processes, and so on and so forth. Now that you have a better understanding of these components, we can learn about the three alignment types. Note that this video tries to clarify the meaning of pushing the two circles closer together, a question of Jim Barton in chapter 1 of the textbook. There are four types of alignment. Business alignment is the degree to which the higher level externally focused business strategies, our long-term plan for the organization, is aligned with the lower level internally focused business operation, which is about organizational chart, business processes, and so on and so forth. Note that CIOs are not in charge of business alignment. Chief Operating Officers, CEOs, are better candidates for that. Strategic alignment is the degree to which business strategy supports and is supported by the IT strategy. High strategic alignment exists if we ask the CEO about the top priorities in IT and get a list. We also ask the CIO about the top priorities of IT. Same question, and we get a list. If we compare the two lists, the higher is the similarity between the two lists, the prioritization of the activities that should be done, the higher is the strategic alignment. If you see CIO mentions goals that do not exist in CEO's list, then we have a low strategic alignment. IT alignment is the degree to which business applications, databases, and other IT assets are at the service of CIO's long-term plans for IT. That means these IT assets, these IT management processes are they fit the plan that CIO has for information technology. Operational alignment deals with how much organizational hierarchies, organizational processes supports and is supported by information technology assets such as IT processes and IT management processes and so on and so forth. So IT, the CIO, the IT department is in charge of the three types of alignment that you see in red here: strategic alignment, IT alignment, and operational alignment. We start with providing examples of strategic alignment to understand it better, but note that strategic alignment is also known as intellectual alignment in the literature. IT governance is considered a component at the strategic level of IT. It is mainly about designing and enforcing a decision-making structure uh, and a decision-making process. A question in IT governance is who the CIO should report to, the CEO or the CFO. From the textbook, you may remember that the CEO, Carl Williams, told Jim Barton, the CIO, that he will directly report to him, uh, while the previous CIO, Davis, used to report to a lower level executive, probably the CFO. The question is, what was the reason behind that decision of Carl Williams? The textbook quotes him saying, the company will go through a big change and a huge part of the change will be IT. I want to go to the bottom of such decisions using a paper by Banker et al. They provide empirical support that differentiators are more likely to have their CIOs report to the CEOs, while cost leaders are more likely to have their CIOs report to the CFOs. Therefore, the reporting structure that is friendly toward strategic alignment is like this. When you take a differentiation strategy, CIO needs to report to the CEO. When you take a cost leadership strategy, CIOs should report to the CFO. If you go for another setting, you will have a misalignment at the strategic level. Here is the reasoning they provided. A differentiation strategy focuses on providing new products and having close relationship with customers. IT can help this strategy by delivering an integration of processes among marketing, R&D, and engineering. Usually these functions work in silos. So IT helps them to communicate way better and faster. So bankers at all say that recommend that CIO needs to report to CEO for such a business strategy. The reason they provide is that CEO has a broader cross-functional view of the firm, and CEOs have a better understanding of the needs for customer intimacy and original products. So therefore, because they are well motivated, they will push for the integration among marketing, R&D, engineering. They provide better ideas and they can help IT provide those deliverables better. However, if a company goes for cost leadership as the business strategy, uh, that means if a company focuses on reducing cost and increasing efficiency, IT can help this strategy by uh, automating the processes so that the process can be done faster with lower level of cost of human labors, which is a huge cost, and also providing closer supervision of labor so that mistakes are happening uh, with a lower level of probability so that the cost goes down. And of course, tight cost management. So here, bankers at all suggest that for such organizations, we CIO needs to report to the CFO, since CFOs can help CIOs find the cost patterns in the organization where the costs are huge so that IT can attack those parts and try to improve the conditions so that lower cost is incurred on the organization. Strategic alignment is mainly about uh, the fit between the business strategy and IT strategy. Sabherwal and Chan suggested that for defenders who avoid changes and like stability, the aligned IS strategy is IS for efficiency. That is, IS improves the efficiency of day-to-day activities and allows having stronger links with suppliers and customers. As for prospectors who love changes and create changes by producing new products or going to the new markets, the aligned IS strategy is IS for efficiency. That is, IS assist in setting prices, rapidly adjusting your price relative to the competitors, and introducing new products or services. As for analyzers who follow changes introduced by prospectors, the aligned strategy is IS for comprehensiveness, where IS provides a comprehensive view of customers, for example. An example can be combining what customers like on Facebook with customers' data inside the company, like what customers bought or what they clicked on the website, to have a kind of full understanding of customers to design a correct marketing strategy. Note that Saperwal and Chan could not empirically support the Defender IS for efficiency combination. However, the two other dualities are supported by statistical analysis and data collection. Pause here for a minute and answer the related quiz. Do the same for the second quiz. Now we focus on IT alignment, the alignment between IT strategy and IT operation. We explained one dimension of this alignment, which is about the alignment between IS strategy and business application portfolio. A CIO's long-term plan is not necessarily supported by the current business applications in the portfolio, particularly if the CIO is newly appointed. An IS for efficiency strategy means the CIO has to find ways to have higher investments in operational support systems, inter-organizational systems, and strategic decision support system. At the same time, the CIO requires to de-escalate investment in market information systems. Jim Barton, the CIO, may choose IS for flexibility. However, that means higher investment in market information systems and strategy support systems and de-escalating investment in operational support system. In a similar vein, IS for comprehensiveness means higher investment in marketing information systems, inter-organizational system, and strategy decision support systems. Pause here for a minute and try to answer this quiz. The last alignment type that I discuss here is operational alignment. That is the alignment between the business operation and IT operation. I provide several examples of operational alignment in the next slide. I provide 5 examples of misfit that can be categorized under operational alignment or operational misalignment. Misfit between business process and IT processes, misfit between data that is required by business and data that exists in IT systems, misfit between business roles, organizational roles in the organizational chart, and the users in IT systems, and misfit between the controls that business requires and the controls in IT system, as well as the misfit in culture. Note that operational misalignment has two dimensions according to Strong and Volkov: deficiency and imposition. For example, the process misfit or functionality misfit can happen in two forms. Some tasks that are required by the business are not supported by the business applications. This is an example of a deficiency. On the other hand, there can be unnecessary tasks that the business applications require the business to perform that provides no added value. This is an example of imposition. Same thing can happen to data. The business application may not support a required data quality. Uh, that means the business application includes inaccurate data, inconsistent data, or obsolete data. On the other hand, uh, the business application may impose the use, collection, or processing of unnecessary data or redundant data. Role misfit is another issue of operational misalignment, another dimension of operational misalignment. Business applications may not support some organizational roles. That means there is no peer users for them in the organization, or they may not support the responsibilities and authorities of those organizational roles. On the other hand, the business applications may impose some unwanted roles on the organization or impose unwanted responsibilities and authorities on a role. Deficiency can also happen in the form of too little control, where business applications do not support the required control by the business. Control misfit can also happen if the business application impose too much control over the processes. And last but not least, cultural misfit can be enumerated as another uh, dimension of operational misalignment, where the business application either do not support the norms in the organization or it imposes new unwanted norms. For example, it makes the company that is innovative quite risk averse rather than risk taking. Pause here for a minute and try to answer this question. Let me summarize what we learned in this lecture and then provide recommendations for the CIO Jim Barton based on this lecture. This lecture was about IT business alignment. We learned about three types of alignment: strategic alignment, IT alignment, and operational alignment. Under strategic alignment, we learned that it's better that the CEO, the CIO report to the CEO if a differentiation strategy is taken. Otherwise, if a cost leadership strategy is taken, it's better for the CIO to report to the CFO. We also learned that a defender needs to follow an IS strategy of IS for efficiency, while a prospector would have a strategic alignment if it follows the strategy of IS for flexibility. We also noticed that there are good reasons that analyzers follow IS for comprehensiveness. As for IT alignment, which is about aligning IT strategy and IT operation, we learned that IS for efficiency requires high investment in operational support systems, interorganizational systems, and a strategic decision support system. On the other hand, IS for flexibility requires high investment in market information systems and strategic decision support systems. And finally, IS for comprehensiveness requires huge investment in market information system, interorganizational systems, and a strategic decision support system. Finally, we learned several dimensions of operational alignment, uh, process misfit, data misfit, role misfit, control misfit, and cultural misfit. My recommendation to Jim Barton is to see his main role as aligning between business and IT, pushing the two circles of smart business smarts and IT smarts together, as mentioned in the textbook. He has three main responsibilities, in my opinion. He needs to improve strategic alignment, IT alignment, and operational alignment. In the next lecture, I discuss competencies that can make a CIO a successful Chief Information Officer.